Hello everyone, and welcome to another Chalice chat. We are here in the dream because, as you probably saw at the end of the last episode, the layer 3 lamp wasn't exactly the safest place for me to hang around, but we're gonna jump right back in now. Okay, we are back in the Chalice dungeon. This is Ailing Loran, layer 3. We are getting started here. I see a beast. Now, I got attacked by spiders before, and I'm already hearing a bell. So I'm going to ignore the fact that I just got hit and run past all this stuff. Boy, this place, this room looks new. Interesting. Is that a... Uh-oh. That's a sage. Wow, this looks really fancy. I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy. This is like this extended preview of what to expect as this dungeon goes on. And, alright, well, that's not a fake wall. I am reminded... whoops. Uh-oh. They found me again. Well, it seems I did not come the right way for the bell ringer. Let's see if I can't run back real quick and remedy that situation. Uh-oh. Well, that's one way to go back. That's one way to do it. It's a dead corpse. Oh, wow. That sage bludgeoned me with a dead corpse, and it gave me rapid poison buildup. This place is nuts. All right, I'm gonna... Oh, see, this is much more promising. I'm already... Uh-oh. Already noticing that this architecture and the louder sound of that bell means that this is the right way to come for the bell ringer. Hopefully only one this time. Where is she? There she is. Ha ha. Uh-oh. Alright, time to skedaddle. Uh-oh. But interesting. That must be like a 3D attack. The one where she does that chime. Yeah, the chime attack must be like a 3D thing because it seemed to get me on the lower layer. I know the animation itself kind of looks like it's all on a 2D plane, but apparently that's not a limitation, unless I got attacked and wasn't really paying too close attention. I'll have to check for that in the edit, but it looked like that was some evidence of a 3D like sphere effect that the attack is. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still hearing a bell. And I'm still seeing spiders. This means there is another bell ringer somewhere around here. Where could they be, though? All right, this doesn't make any sense, because the spiders had to get through this door that I opened. So I'm gonna... Yikes. Okay, I'm gonna go back through the door. More trouble than it's worth. And... follow the ringing of the bell? Did I run past the bell ringer, like, right down here that was next to me? Yes, I did. Look, she's right here. Look at this. Alright. Well, round 2 of a 2-bell ringer room is coming to an end much faster than round 1 did, which is quite nice, to be honest. I appreciate not having to do this, like, 6 different times, or however many it was in the last episode. There were 2 bell ringers in this room, but they did not pose quite the same threat. Honestly, I think in part because they're just closer. The room that I had to get to wasn't through a closed door, and it wasn't... Oh, right, I'm reminded of what I wanted to do, which was not on this screen. It was on this one, because I wanted to turn on my portable lantern. Because I noticed as I was editing the last episode that at some point I died or warped away or something, and that portable lantern got turned off and the lighting went bad again. So turning it back on, and hopefully things will go a little bit better this time. All right, checking. Sometimes there's treasure in these corners. Not seeing any. Sometimes there's treasure in these corners. Sometimes there's passages off to these sides, so there might be illusory walls. I don't think there is. Oh, looks like I already got this treasure. I don't think there is, just based off of the fact that I kind of already uncovered a room. But let's come back and deal with this initial enemy here, now that Aha, not dropping anything for me. Aha! How about that? I managed to both roll into that that coffin and have it trigger a beast attack. Interesting. Well, also not dropping any vials for me. Okay, that's fine. Well, that answers that question. All right, so I could go back there and retrace my steps from that initial run-through, or I could continue to explore over here, which looks like it actually came out on the second floor of the big room that I was in before. So I have no idea whether the first or second floor is more important, but I'm going to start on the second, just because if I ever die, I'm going to have to come and deal with this room again anyway. So let's go off of the route. Actually, what I'm going to do, because I'm probably going to get turned around, is I'm going to put one shining coin by... actually, there's a lantern buddy. I don't know if people have caught these before, but down in the lower right here, we can see there's a green lantern lit by a messenger, which serves as kind of a guidepost, lets you know what some of the path is. So we've got a gateway to a closed door over here. We've got, oh, it looks like one of these casters again. Let's get my non-beast killing weapon. Uh-oh. This is reinforcing. Aha! Close range renders you less effective. And I'm gonna dodge this way because that looks like yeah, that looks like a close range attack. And again, I don't think you can fire through walls. You might be able to swing through walls though. There we go. Please don't fall down. Yeah. Looks like this is another reason it's a good thing that I came this particular way, because if I had just run into the lower floor and tried to deal with that already quite nasty sage, it would have been, I probably would have been getting peppered by fire spells, which that would have been no fun at all. So I'm once again glad that I came this way. On the reasoning that I did. Oh, and it looks like I would not have been peppered by one fire spellcaster alone, but this one as well. Oof. Okay. Uh-huh. You hit pretty hard, but like your friend, have trouble with large columns. Oh, there's actually... Interesting. I got a quick flash of like a face with horns coming out of it. That's more detail on that particular enemy than I've been able to catch before. That's pretty cool. Okay, so is this another viable pathway? It looks like it is. So we have the Green Lantern door. We have the corridor to a door. And that's completed the circle. We're back to the Green Lantern door. So let's not go back through there. Let's see what happens if I take a right and go into this room, because this looked like it was fairly self-contained. And I would like to explore things kind of in the order of self-containedness, even though that's not really a word. And I can already kind of see that that looks like the like inserted tombs in the ground that I ran past before. So if I were to drop down there, that's probably where it would go back to. Oh man, this was so promising. Well, so promising, but it led to nothing. Which just leaves us with one way to go. So I guess there is that. It was I asked for something self-contained, and I got something self-contained, I guess. And I already rolled against that other promising pathway. So let's not waste our time with that. Let's go back through this other doorway. This is the last way on the top floor for us to go. And looking around. I am a little bit suspicious because the thing about the Green Lantern messengers is that they tend to mark like the important correct path. So yeah, it looks like in the distance we can already see that is where the lever is. So we're gonna end up throwing the lever before we do our boss expert. This guy's just on fire? Oh, this is super cool. This is like a like constantly on fire sage enemy. It looks like. Yep. And, yep, like all the other sages, this one can close distance fast, which is inherently scary. However, it does make them vulnerable to getting interrupted and hit with viscerals. Hey, swing wildly. Oh yeah, or do another jump attack. Boy, it's nice when I can mindlessly visceral enemies. Alright, that takes care of you. Oh, we have one of our... I don't know if this is the first. I think it might be. If it's not the first, it's certainly one of the first. Cursed blood gems, which, I mean, they say they're cursed, so they can't be perfect. But these tend to be really good. When you're looking for gems, usually you want to find a gem that is cursed because, as I understand it, there's kind of like a value system with positive and negative values, and so if you introduce a negative value into the gem, so let's say that like one common valuable thing is weapon durability. So you can have gems that will in turn lower weapon durability. That's a downside. But because it has a downside, that allows it to get a corresponding upside. So I think weapon durability down is kind of considered one of the more desirable curses. Like some of the curses are do less damage. So they'll boost your damage by more, but they'll also lower your damage. And so the kind of end result ends up being a little bit of a wash. That's not a very popular one. I think durability down and stamina down are the curse effects that tend to be the popular ones, because those are negative values that could be mitigated fairly easily, and or at least not considered just because if you're not using the Tonitrus especially, durability doesn't tend to be that much of a problem in this game. So having it go down faster usually isn't that much of an issue. And if you're using the stamina thing down, I mean, this came up in that comment that gave a lot of the advice on my particular weapons before and how to best gem them. My stamina is way high for what like actually competitive players, like highly skilled players, tend to go for in their builds. My stamina, most people, I think it's a 25 for me. Most people do not raise their stamina at all. So just because the amount of stamina that you get base on your character tends to be plenty for people. So weapons that have a defect of lowering your stamina, especially if you've got increased stamina at all, it's considered a pretty minor drawback. And there are also, even if you want to have that drawback and mitigate it without leveling stamina, you can even do that by by equipping certain runes that will increase your stamina instead. So we have been running into a number of beasts, and I'm seeing another beast here. So we're gonna go back to our saw cleaver. Speak of the beasts, get some more beasts. This one tends to move. This type tends to move a little bit faster than the other type, so I'm gonna move away to draw it out separately, and then get hit, and then finish this one off, and get my recovery back on the rally system. Get my health back on the rally system. So that takes care of those particular beasts. That was a slightly dangerous thing to do, but I felt like I dealt with the immediate enemies because I'd already drawn them towards me, and so didn't feel too bad about things ending up the way they did. And now we get to explore this cool little area that's kind of unlike any we've seen before. It's here we have some Tomb Mold 4. We've picked up Tomb Mold 4. I believe I've speculated that there's a Tomb Mold 5, but we haven't actually run across any yet. Yeah, these are the things. So I bet if we look just above, if we look just above, you can fall down here, and this is where we have come down. Oh, and speaking of which, it looks like we have an old hunter here. Beast Claw. I did look up in the other Chalice chat episode that Tsume there, the one after Kemono. So the first one is old, the second one is part of a 2 kanji set. It means hunt, and then the second part of that set is person. So old, hunt, person becomes the concept of old hunter. And then you have the opening parentheses, which is kind of like an opening quotation mark in Japanese. And then the first kanji in that opening quotation mark equivalent is beast, kemono. We've seen it a lot. This is Bloodborne. We've seen that one a lot. This is and then it's nails, like the fingernails, or claw. I did look that up in that Chalice Chat episode, edited that in. It's claw, and then it's our friend No from way back when, and then we get a name, Yuzefu. Yobu. Yobu is call. So we could, or summon. We could call for Beast Claw Joseph, or Joseph/Yosef. I don't know how they spell it in the English. It could be like Jiro, where they used a J to get the Y sound, or it might not. And I'm going to try and sneak up on this particular sage. Not succeed, but still get a big hit in anyway. And attack. All right. Well, that could have gone better. That could have gone a lot better. That whole sequence of movements there could have been a lot better. So I'm hearing movement behind me. So I'm going to lock off, and I'm going to run away. And one of these things is going to chase me further and faster, and that's the one that we're going to deal with. I'm highly skeptical that they will both have come here at the same rate. And indeed, they did not. Wow, he hits like a truck. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That was actually quite lucky, because the poison didn't travel that far and took up enough time that I didn't need to... Uh-oh. That could have been the end of me. Okay. All right. I'm going for these viscerals because, like, historically, the quick fighting sage-type enemies are best dealt with viscerals, as we've seen with the other one. But it's looking more like this one has the kind of slow but strong attacks that I am particularly bad at visceraling. So I'm gonna try and wait for an attack to miss. That's not missing. I'm gonna wait for an attack to miss. There we go, and then take advantage of that opening to get in a few hits and get surprised by the fact that this enemy also has quick-acting, like, kick-type moves. In addition, oh boy, in addition to the mega damage moves. And well, looks like we've got a lot of stuff to repeat. Okay, so our first order of business will be dealing with this room. Ow. Ow. I tried to just ignore that damage because I felt like I could rally a bunch of it to middling effect. And let's not waste any time here. Let's just attack this particular enemy because I know that they're there. And speaking of wasting time, I should disengage. I should die. All right, I'm gonna reorganize my priorities yet again and try this another time. All right, they had my blood echoes, and I admit I was drawn by the fact that they had my blood echoes. That was a mistake. The answer is always to deal with the Bell Maidens first. And it's actually kind of convenient that that particular enemy followed me in here, because that's going to make it that much easier to get my blood echoes back later. So now I'm going to run past the spider and hopefully take out this second bell ringer before she summons in too many reinforcements for me to deal with. And that's actually quite convenient because this fall repositions her. The inconvenient thing is the way this worked out, but that bullet will answer my problems. Solve my problems. And now you, conveniently repositioned enemy, come back. You can give me back my blood echoes. Thank you very much. There we go. Third time's the charm. Oh, and look, I appear to have overlooked some bullets. Somehow. Interesting. However, I have not forgotten that there were those spellcasters up here. So I'm going to come back up and deal with these strange creatures. Maybe get a better look at their faces this time, too. That'll be interesting. Hello there. I need to use... I'm trying to lock on. That's why the camera's jumping around. I need to use my positioning to good advantage. That was not the best advantage I could have used my positioning to. Okay. See those, like, horns growing out of their face? That's wild. What is this? This is, I don't know off the top of my head what those first two are read as. Diadine, maybe? The first one is big. The second one is like a ring. and then Shiketsubana. So this is Death Blood Flower or Cold Blood Flower. This is like a fully bloomed flower, which I was talking about those materials before. So let's go ahead and look at this particular progression. We've got the sprout, we've got the flower bulb, I guess, and then we've got the open blossom. Interesting. I won't reiterate all of my comments on that I did before, but I will bring it up because I think it's interesting, and I will get whacked by this thing incredibly hard. And uh-oh, that was a spell. Well, all right. This has been a travesty of enemy reading all around. That's going to be another spell, and they fire twice, and that's going to be the end of you, friend, because it's going to take you too long to cast that next spell. And you got anything for me? No. Interesting. I wonder if they, because they dropped the, what do you call it? They dropped the bud, that is the shoot, the lowest level of the Cold Blood flower, and they also dropped what is probably the highest level, which is the full blossom. So that's an interesting. I wonder if they also dropped the mid-level one. That's an interesting range of things for them to drop. And yeah, did not forget about that enemy. So let's get back to all of this. I have not forgotten about the other enemy that's around the corner there. So we're going to try and deal with this one without getting that one involved. Well, we don't have the other one involved, but that was not the outcome I was looking for. That was the outcome I was looking for right there. Okay, and that should leave one enemy, yep, right here. Hello. I did not forget about your existence. Alright, that's the end of you. That brings us to this rematch with the Sage, which hopefully this time I can successfully sneak up on. I wonder if the speed of my approach had anything to do with his discovery of my presence. Looks like it did, because I will definitely take a free visceral on this enemy. I will also remember that this enemy is not alone in this room, and seek once again to draw him back this way. Hello, friend. Hello. Come in. Advance. Thank you. Uh-oh. I forgot how slow the attacks are. Alright. Alright. I'm just gonna hit and run. Ow. Well, in theory. In theory, I'm gonna hit and run. In fact, I'm gonna get hit and then just get hit some more. But I'm not gonna bother with the weapon buff. I'm just gonna, yeah. I'll take the damage that I can take and finish the enemy. Oh yeah, here we have another skull. Another skull of the Holy One. And finally, that enemy is dealt with. So that just leaves, I think, the regular enemy types in this room. Boy, there's one there. Don't see anyone anywhere else. I was thinking maybe that particular treasure, since the sage was standing right in front of it, might have been, I was thinking that particular treasure might have been worth something, but it was blood vials, which, I mean, blood vials are important, but at the moment my stock is not low, so neither in the immediate sense or in the ultimate sense. I've got close to 300 in storage, so it's not exactly about to run out. So the value I place in blood valves, the value I place in blood vials is not exactly super high at the moment. All right, so I'm continuing to explore this this setup, and as we've seen before, this set of chambers goes a little bit further. Then it looked like it reached a dead end, but I didn't fully explore because I was looking for bell ringers at the time. Oh, hello! Was looking for bell ringers at the time, did not find any, and I remember you, enemy with a hook. I have been on the gouging end of that hook before, and it is not a pleasant experience. That I can verify. I can vouch for. And there do not appear to be any illusory walls in this setup here. So, oh, look at all these these like covered over casks are generally detonate. So if I threw like a Molotov cocktail, these would probably explode. Actually, depending on where those, oh yeah, look at that. Depending on where those fire throwers were positioned, they could probably throw fire right here if I was in the middle of fighting a bunch of enemies and blow me up. So that could have been quite deadly. That could have been very bad news indeed. But we do have, like I said, these lantern things tend to signify like actual progress. And come to think of it, I've died, which means I need to turn this back on. Hopefully I've been in brightly lit enough areas that hasn't been too annoying. Okay, coming back down this way, and definitely ends in a dead end. That is definitely not an illusory wall, and I don't think there's any other way to go. Yeah, I'm not seeing one. Interesting. Oh, well, I am noticing, though, now that I'm coming back from the other direction, this treasure here. So just take some bullets. That's nice. Get some bullets for my spells/gun. And yeah, it looks like I've cleared out the main section of this layer. There was no pre-lantern path. So that's just going to leave, once we open this boss door, I'm just going to check, kind of like I usually do, because we're coming up towards the end of a good episode, coming to a good episode length here, so probably going to end this episode no matter what. And yes, indeed, we do have a side path after the boss door, so only the main section and that side path this time, but the main section was fairly extensive, so I think that kind of makes up for it. Anyway, I'm going to head back to the dream, this time not be afraid of getting overwhelmed by spiders while I say goodbye, and I will catch up with you next time and let you know what changes I have made should you decide to stick around. I hope you do, though, and until next time, thanks for watching, everyone.